Hey, loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as I am today. Listen, guys, we were going to do an interview today. However, I have pushed that back to tomorrow. So I have two interviews tomorrow. One will be at 3 o'clock. The other one will be roughly around 5 o'clock, depending how the first interview goes. Okay. If that first interview is over, then we'll go ahead and go right into the next one. Okay. So I just want you guys to know I really, really appreciate all of the support behind the scenes, all of the cash apps that are sent, everybody that's just kind of helping along with this. I really, truly, 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 from the bottom of my heart, really, really appreciate you guys. Okay, and I just wanted to get into a couple of those things today, and also talk about some of these community walls. Okay, because there is some very interesting community wall posts that I wanted to discuss today with you guys, okay? Particularly in regards to some more Rev G evidence that was posted on a community wall that I am going to now add to the docket here, okay? Because I think it's very important. And had I had known about this, I actually would have posted this during his show that we dedicated to his TikTok the other day, okay? But since I didn't know it, it is what it is. But today is another day, and we can definitely get into this today, okay? I'm going to go ahead and play my intro, and then we are going to get right into it, guys. Appreciate you guys coming in. Make sure you guys do grab the like button on the way in, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys, hold on one second. I'm actually trying to upload a couple of things I've got. I don't know what I did with them. So bear with me one second, guys, while I look for. Oh, I see them. Okay. I don't know why I got them in PDF form. That's weird. I wonder I can't pull this up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll just share my screen when I'm ready to look at these. Okay. But I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure you guys do hit the like button. Definitely appreciate you guys being in the building. Definitely hit that like button on the way in. Let me go ahead and take a look at the comments. Hey, Make a Change, appreciate you being in the building. Miss Stangs, appreciate you being in the building as well. You guys can go ahead and grab that panel if you guys want to. Also, Steph Collins, I appreciate you being in the building as well. You said I got something to send you. Maybe we can show it today. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to do that. You can definitely send me whatever you'd like. As well as the beautiful Bernice, I appreciate you being in the building as well. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead, and everybody in the clouds too. I appreciate you guys. Y'all go ahead and grab that like button for me. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with why I decided to do this today. I'm going to be honest with y'all. After the interviewee wasn't able to show today, and we decided we'll do it tomorrow, I was going to take a break today, right? I was going to not even discuss anything, not go live, not do anything, right? But I saw a particular post on YM's channel. Shout out to YM, the Critical Chronicles of YM. I am going to, I think I want to share my screen with this. Hold on one second, though. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys YM's channel. So bear with me just a moment while I grab that. because I thought what she put on here was quite interesting. And yeah, I think it's important to kind of take a look at this. Okay, so shout out to YM, who was able to put some information up today that I thought was pretty damaging to Rev G, as well as, really does coincide with what we were talking about in regards to this man's TikTok. Okay, so what I'm going to do is read her post to you guys, and then I'm going to go into these comments, okay, or into these photos, okay, because again, what she said, this is damaging. Okay. Now we already watched the Rev G TikTok. All of us were throwing up in our mouths, you know what I mean, and everything else from all of the ridiculously crazy and very strange, behavior that he's had on TikTok, right? And the people that he's following and so forth and so on. It was just nuts. The things that he was, the things that he was involved with. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick at Rev G's or at YM's page. I want to make sure you guys can see it. Okay. Shout out to y'all again for being here. Now let's go ahead and take a look. Shout out to YM as well for being the GOAT in regards to this situation. Okay. Now she said all of the images in this post may be used at your discretion for news reporting, commentary, and critique under Creative Commons. Thank you. And I will be doing it with that. T-Pre inspired me to revisit my notes and screenshots of Rev G's TikTok page from last year. At the time, I counted through half of the people he followed and offered some casual statistical data. This time, I decided to look at each and every point of engagement, followers, and folks he's following. I marked each account as women, man, girl, or boy based on the profile photo, audio, video of the user, and any other written identifying information. I invite you to look at all of the data yourself, and please share your inferences and conclusions in the comments. One thing I will say about Rev G is this: I believe without a doubt that his TikTok account is strange and inappropriate due to the fact that to this day, July 26, 2024, he still has some of the same mutual followed followers who were clearly under the age of 12. He has newly followed a few children who do not follow him back compared to last year. He made a comment on a child's page in response to a dramatized self-poisoning. See screenshots. I am not saying he is a pedophile or a molester or a trafficker, etc. I'm saying this is weird as hell, okay? And I think that we all kind of have the same sentiments. It's kind of hard to say he's a molester or, he's a predator or, he's a child molester or something like that if we don't have any actual evidence of him doing something like that, right? We haven't heard anyone come forward and say, yeah, this guy molested me or something, this happened to me from this guy, right? But what we see is a pattern of behavior on his TikTok that is clearly strange and clearly inappropriate, right? I think it's, goes without saying that this man doesn't know these young kids, especially that little boy, the little girl. And I had went into that little girl's page on my channel with the video I did on the TikTok. And I showed that she was on the school bus talking with her friends and carrying on with that. You know what I mean? So there's no way that he knows these kids and, that he's hanging out with these kids, right? So today, YM kind of put up some statistics of who are his followers, right? And who's being followed. Okay. Now, this was something that she had posted about 8 months ago. Okay. Now, here is that photo. Do you guys remember when we were looking at Rev G's TikTok the other day and how there were these little white girls that were playing the grimace shake game, right? They were playing with one another and hanging out with one another, laughing. And we were more upset at the fact that we knew he did not know these little white girls, especially the one who's clearly 8 years old, right? And the other one is clearly like 12, 13, 14 years old at the most, right? He doesn't know these little white girls, right? Yet, guys, we have a actual screenshot of Rev G RGM Music. Now we know that that is his TikTok page. We know that that is his photo, actually commenting on these children's posts. Okay, and this was done in 2023 when he did actually post on these children's TikTok page. I also want to bring up some things that are on this because it was something that was brought to my attention. And you can see where he says funny here, right? I'm just kind of circling where he says that and where YM put a actual, she pointed out exactly where he was at. The second one where the girls were laid out on the ground, right? This is where he also says funny, even though he thinks this is funny somehow, okay? Now, what I want to do is read some of these messages that are on that page because I want you guys to see how dangerous this is and how crazy and nuts this is, okay? Because this is absolutely crazy, and it's there's just some lines you just cannot blur, right, in life. There's just some things you can't pretend and blur the lines with. So one of the pages says, and if you tap into it, you can read it for yourself. But there are messages from what appears to be maybe a possible pedophile, okay? Because this person says at the bottom, JBFASKIG73 says, "Hi, I think you're funny. Hope to be your friend. If you are a gentleman, speak English, and are, I don't know what it says, years old, you can add my Telegram." Okay. Now, Telegram, from what I understand, is a website where pedophiles tend to have these hidden subliminal messages. Okay, and they invite children to these it's basically a website where they're passing around child pornography. Okay, and they invite children to come look at it. They lure children in with certain imagery, kind of like we were seeing with the other TikTok pages where they have bunnies and they have Barbie dolls and stuff like that up there that would attract children. But then once the children are there, they're actually watching porn of children. Okay, so these are the kinds of things that happen on that Telegram, and that's this guy right here. So I wanted to read that, where you can clearly see you can add my Telegram, okay, where he wanted these little girls to add him to his Telegram, okay? And this, we're not saying that this is Rev G, right? Of course, this message right here is from somebody else. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just kind of letting you guys know how serious this really is, okay? And the fact that this guy is on here, Rev G is on here actually commenting on this child's page is nutty, okay? He tried to tell us, that, he knows these kids and it was all kinds of little lies he told and all kinds of stuff. The story changed and twisted and turned so many different times, that we don't even know which direction to go anymore. But the bottom line is, this is the kind of stuff that is going on with these TikTok pages and and these kids. And these are the people that this reverend is actually following, and not only following, but also interacting with these kids. Okay. Because he not only said this on here, but then he went there and also let them know how funny he thought this was. Okay. Which obviously is extremely inappropriate. Hey, Terry.
Hey, I just wanted to clarify about Telegram.
Okay.
Because I know you weren't familiar with the app, and I'm only familiar of it because I like watching those TCAP shows where they bust pedos.
Okay.
And so this is speculation, but it's speculation, and it's also there's evidence that there's something creepy going on, right?
Right.
So it's not like just blind speculation, but it is speculation. And what I think is going on is not so much that these guys lure children onto Telegram, which they probably do, but the context I've seen it up is that this is where people trade images with other adults of children.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, when this guy in the comments is saying it, I don't think he's talking to the children. I think he's talking to the men in the comment who are commenting on this, and he's saying you seem like a nice gentleman. See,
Yeah.
so he's talking to the other men. So it could be that this type of weird imagery and all these little coded websites with the Barbie dolls and the little kids killing themselves, it could be that these are like honeypots that the traders are using to see which men click on it, and then they try to sell them images and videos on Telegram. And I do know that's what Telegram is used for, because Telegram is one of those things where it's encrypted images and the images delete. It's like Snapchat on steroids.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I
And
know about.
so yeah, so when he's saying, hey, you seem like a gentleman, you speak English, because a lot of the English speakers are the ones who buy. Most of these images are coming from like India and Russia.
Mm-hmm.
So if they see an American man or somebody speaking English, these traders will jump up on it and try to start getting them to come over to Telegram. And again, I know this because I like watching channels like To Catch a Predator channels, the
Yeah.
predator poachers, like these types of people. I know that, and you can Google Telegram and child exploitation and just see there's like millions of articles saying that these creeps use that website for that reason.
Okay. That's really interesting. I'm gonna pull up an article on that now. You said just Google Telegram.
And just put like child or child image, because Telegram, they flood the search results to make it try to look normal, right? So you'll see a bunch of just like articles from Telegram themselves. But if you put in like Telegram and trial or exploitation, then the real news articles start popping up.
Child exploitation. Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to search the other word,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. It's
I
like I
know,
really
right?
want to be careful with what I'm searching on there.
You don't want that shit in my
Um,
search history. Yeah, but um
yeah, I'm about to share this real quick. Hold on. Let
okay,
me
go ahead.
let me share this one. Let me share this screen. Okay. It says on Telegram, members of these groups post child porn videos or corpse desecration and images of the cuts they have made children inflict on themselves, according to victims and an examination of messages. In chat groups with as many as 5,000 members, they brag about their abusive acts and goad each other on. This is really scary, guys.
Yeah,
I've
and
never
you'll
heard
see
of anything
hundreds
like
of
this.
thousands and thousands of articles about these things. And of course, Telegram, they're not based in the US. So that's how they
Right.
get away with this. But it's like that is what Telegram is that's one of their major functions is enabling the spread of child exploitation. And I like they don't call it child porn anymore. They call it child abuse images, which I think is more appropriate.
Better. Yeah.
And so even the fact if you find yourself frequenting all these little kids on Telegram so much that you're running into people who are inviting you into Telegram groups, like something's not right.
Yeah, that is nuts. That I'm looking at one right now that says Telegram bans 2,114 groups channels related to child abuse. This is nuts. I can't believe that it even exists. Like
Yeah,
I
and Telegram knows that they're facilitating this. So by the time that they're banning it, it's really bad because they're actively profiting off of this.
exactly. This is crazy. I almost don't even know what to do. Right? Like, oh my god. Like I don't want to get into these stories. Right? Just for the simple fact that obviously for obvious reasons. Right? But
Right.
what I do find strange is that, like you said, with this person commenting on this, let me share this tab again. Um, with this person commenting at the bottom, right? It just makes you wonder who, in fact, he was trying to target. Like, was that person trying to get in? Hold on, let me look at the date on that one because the one at the bottom seems to be older an older date than Rev G's. But let me just verify that real quick. Um, hold on. Hold on 1 second. I just want to look at the date on that one because Rev G's was
So
in
yeah,
like
take your time.
July.
Well, while you look, I'll just say that it kind of it matters, but not that much, because the type of content he finds funny is also the type of comment where these, and yeah, it's true, big too big, that Telegram is used for some money scams. That's true, but I don't think that this image and this video screams money scams. Like Telegram is used for two things, and which one do you think this video is set up to attract?
Right, right. Which
And
it just makes you wonder what kind. Like for me, it's just with Rev G being on there and wanting to. Hold on one second, guys. Let me put this banner up real quick. Real quick, 1 second, guys. Hello.
Hi,
Hey, Bernice. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing,
That's
Carrie? Carrie Ann, how you doing? Oh, she can't
who,
hear me.
who is that?
that's
This is
Bernice.
Bernice.
Can you
Any,
hear us, Carrie?
okay, anyway, I
Carrie,
just
can you
wanted
hear
to,
me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
yeah, okay, I just wanted to remind you that I sent you a picture,
Okay.
from Rev G's page,
Yeah.
that's fitting with this topic that you're sitting here talking about right now.
Okay. Let
Just
me pull that up too. Yeah.
yeah, just don't forget, this is something that he had on his page from last year, but it's still rolling. When you go to his page, this is something that you see straight up right on his page,
Oh,
right?
the get
You
your
know,
money black man picture.
yeah, that
Yeah.
disgusting picture. Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What
Yeah.
does that mean? What is that all about? What is, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
understand
the
it.
subliminal messaging, right? That's
Is
for me.
the weird stuff that he likes,
Right, right, right.
and
The bear.
so
Okay, so what
it's
Bernice is talking about, guys, is there is a photo. I can't get into my Gmail right at this second, but there is a
mm,
photo that is on Rev G's page. I can probably just share his page. Hold on 1 second. Let me go to Rev G's page real quick before he tries to take it down. All right. So yeah, I wanna go to it before he actually tries to take it down. Because if I say it, then he gonna go in there and take it down. Because I know he watching. Hey, Rev G. Was that it was on his community wall, right? Oh, you know what? It's not. It's right here.
no, it's right
Homepage.
there.
It's
Before
right
you even go into the page, it's right
there.
there.
Okay,
And
guys. I'm
that's
going to
creepy.
share
That's like
this
one of the
page.
first things you see.
All right, so guys, this is what she's talking about, right? It's this bear that there he's called himself trying to make fun of me and mine with this, right? And grown man.
What's up, y'all?
What the fuck?
Got a new dance called the Get Your Money Black Man.
Now this is supposed to be a dance, mind you.
Dance, yo.
Say that again.
He said this is a new dance. This
Yeah.
is what he just said. This is a new dance.
Let me tell you how you do it, right? All right. First, you lean against the wall like your legs are broken. Wave from side to side. I ain't joking.
Well, I really don't want to play the song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Basically,
does that
basically
have
the,
anything to do with a dance though?
no, not at all. And he's not even
Exactly.
doing anything with this dance. He's just rubbing on this bear, right? Is rubbing on his own behind and got his legs in the fucking air.
Yeah, exactly.
All these subliminal things that this guy does are just crazy.
It's
They're
just
just
really
not.
crazy. But
Yeah.
that's just what I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm gonna get off the line and let you finish talking.
Okay, thank you for coming up, Bernice. I truly
You're
appreciate you.
welcome. Love,
Okay,
peace, and teddy bears, babe.
love and peace to you too. Okay, so yeah, but basically that was something that is inappropriate, and these are kind of things that Rev G does, with that, that it's like he has all these childlike stuff going on, in his mind, and then he turns around and has these adult like
Well, it's
conversations.
just it'd be why doesn't he find any of the adults on TikTok funny? We're like, why is this like where is the other comedy where it's normal? Why is everything so weird and creepy? And Stephanie makes a good point in the comments. We're so fair over on this side. Like they always add spice to their stories. We're always being, trying to be fair. And she's mentioning that Telegram is used in countries like India where the government has control of the internet. And that's true. And that would be a more legitimate point if we were in India. Right. But we're in America. So why is this man inviting the types of men who find this video funny onto Telegram?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's inappropriate, with that. But I think that the point of the Telegram thing is, why is this man? Why are these grown men on these little kids' TikTok page commenting on their page? We remember that these little girls were not viral. This was their only video on there at the time, right? This was their only video on there. So for what reason would these men be following these children and then even suggesting that somebody joins their Telegram from these children's pages? I think that's, kind of the part right there that is getting me. You know what I'm saying? And it's the fact that Rev G is on there actually interacting with these kids. So were we overreacting when we were talking about Rev G, and the possibility that he may be interacting with these kids that he's following, right? Obviously, we're not overreacting to that. And it is a fact that you can inbox somebody on TikTok, okay? We did figure that out. That is a thing that can be done on TikTok, okay? So, yeah, I think that this is a legitimate concern. What do you guys think? Y'all let me know in the comments. And what do you think, Carrie? You think it's a legitimate concern?
Yeah, and I mean, what's funny about it, it makes you wonder if he's trying to contact these kids, or did somebody just steal this video trying to attract men and customers who want imagery like this? It definitely harkens back to that image of that half-dead child with the phone in their face. Like, yeah. What is being communicated here?
Right. Like, what are the subliminals, right? That Rev G would find funny. Hey, Speakeasy, appreciate you being here. You said on most sites like TikTok, the content in your feed, it's based on what you search.
That's a good point.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. So, obviously, with him, what is he searching for? You know what I mean? That's got him following these children to begin with, right? And
all these Barbie dolls with empty pages and stuff. Like, what are you searching? Why none of us get that in our feeds?
Exactly. And according to YM, she said that as of July 26, 2024, he still has some of the same mutual followed and followers who are clearly under the age of 12. Under the age of 12, guys. He has newly followed a few children who also do not follow him back compared to last year. So he has opened up, and I'm not going to find that. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to find it, but I do believe YM. I really do. I think that Rev G thought we were scared, and we weren't going to say anything, anymore, which is, because we privated those videos because we literally did not want this on our channel, right? I think that he thought that, and so he thought the heat was off of him. And so little did he know that we still have investigators in here, okay, that are still looking. And turns out, as of July 26th, which was yesterday, okay, as of less than 24 hours ago, he still had some of the same children on there that he was following last year who are clearly under the age of 12. And he has now followed additional children as well, who also aren't following him back. And he made comments on these children's pages in response to a dramatized self-poisoning, the grimace thing that these little girls were doing, right? And now she said again, I'm not saying that he's a pedophile or a molester or a sex trafficker or anything like that, but this shit is definitely fucking weird and definitely questionable, okay? Bottom line. And, I can't pretend. Thank you. I appreciate that for that super chat, for that cash app. I can't pretend that this isn't inappropriate. I really can't. I can't pretend that. And on top of that, now we know and we have evidence that he is actually definitely trying to, at least attempting to interact with these kids. Okay, these little girls that
yeah,
you
and
don't
just
know.
to point out a normal hush puppy. You know, he always got to have
Hey,
his.
Bugsy, he be
He
hearing
always
me.
got to
That's
have
what it
his
is.
say. Second, I'll turn on that mic. Here he come.
Hey,
You
Too
know,
Big, appreciate you being in the building.
yeah, just in case anybody's confused, the thing a normal adult is supposed to do when they see kids who are too young for the terms of service on social media is block and report their page. That would be what a normal person would do.
That's what I would do. Right. Yeah. Like, especially because I'm not on TikTok following nobody on TikTok and all that. Hey, Mia Mines, I appreciate you being in the building. I'm not on TikTok following nobody on TikTok and whatnot. But if, on my Instagram or on my Facebook or something like that, if a child, if a little kid was on there trying to interact with me, I would definitely block that page and I would report the page, right? I would definitely do that. This child ain't even supposed to be on here. You know what I mean? And my channels are not intended for children to follow anyway. So, it doesn't make sense that a child would be, following me, right? If I found out even that if a child, on YouTube was following me, I would most definitely report that page, right? Because of the content that I have is not for children at all. Okay.
Well, you know what just occurred to me too? And I know we can't spend 20 minutes on every image, but
no, go ahead.
It occurs to me when Rev G and AAS immediately went to lying and saying that I called him a pedophile, which I didn't. It does, because like I said, I don't know why this grown man is following all these little kids. And what occurs to me is the first video that you looked up on Google that popped up, the first article, and that's the one that popped up when I searched it too, was these men encouraging kids to what? Self-harm. Yeah. And then we saw that several of the kids he was following had that imagery about self-harm before we ever even came to this video that YM pulled back up. So it just goes to show, nobody said that it was sexual attraction. There was just some revolting attraction. And it seems like most of these images have more to do with children in crisis for, that's some, it's some wild people in the world.
It really is. It really is.
But we don't, it could be sex, it could be watching kids hurt themselves, it could be anything. So don't let people gaslight you, or they like to set up this straw man argument like you can't prove I'm a pedo, and it's like, but nobody said that's what you were doing.
Facts. That's a fact. Hey, KKC and Mia Mines, I appreciate y'all being in the building. I'm going to.
It's all types of ways that people like to hurt children. Respectfully, it's all types of terrible things that predators like to do to children. It's not only sex.
Right. There's all kinds of just horrible, evil things that people do. I want to pull up a couple of more things. One of them is Anti's page, real quick. So let me go ahead and pull her up because she had the nerve to post something that that is talking about KKC. Shout out to KKC. And I know he knew I was going to share this because I let him know I was going to share this. Let me go ahead and take a look. Hey, KKC. Oops, I should have put my banner up. Let me make sure that's you.
Right.
KKC, you're muted. Let me unmute you. I can't even unmute. You have to unmute. Okay, go ahead. Let me. I want to share. So, can you hear me, KKC? You might have to.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's going on? Okay. Did you want to talk about this one?
So real quick, that's cool. Thank you. This receipt right here just goes to show that, for one, she hates that I'm saying anything when it comes to this series, and two, it just proves that I'm not lying on her. This receipt right here is about my father. She does things like this in hopes that you you pretty much self-sabotage, if you will. She'll make a post like this, and then I tell you guys this is about my father, and it's like it's playing into her hands, like, oh, I didn't dox him, he's doxing himself type thing. So I man, this help. So what she did was she pulled up information regarding my father's past, and then she heavily exaggerated just so that she can I guess prove a point that the things that my family gets involved in, or the choices they make, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, such as what happened to my cousin and things like that. So this meme just lets me know she's watching what's going on. She's pissed off that I'm involved. So in retaliation, she makes a meme about my dad. His name is Ronald. That's why she put Bad Ronald. And then she put some things that happened within his background. My father passed away January 13th of this year. So for her to
I'm sorry,
even go
KKC.
this route
Really
right here,
terrible.
it just lets you know how low there's no low they won't go. Like they will go as low as they possibly can. So,
Yeah.
And this is coming from a licensed therapist, right? A person who, has certain ethical obligations, that she does this kind of stuff. And this is why, when we've got people who really don't understand, or they claim they don't understand why we're talking about this, this is very important to journalize this, okay? And to make sure that, before she goes on a rampage of taking everything down again, okay? Because we all know that she definitely has erased probably 90% of her community wall, okay? So, with a lot of stuff that she did with Carrie and that kind of stuff, which I'm about to start sharing, I got two or three of those accusations, of those things I want to share with you guys today. But yeah, like, she takes stuff down and pretends that she never said these things so that she can act as if she was, some kind of victim in all of this, right? That, somehow she has been victimized and everybody's doing her wrong, and that they're only retaliating, against they're only, trying to get back at us for what we've done to them, right? These are the things that she says, but yet, how would any of us know that this man's father's name was Ronald? How would any of us know who she's talking about or what she's talking about, right? All we see is apples and monkeys and, a bunch of stuff about law abiding, and not abiding by the law. Most of us would have no idea what she's talking about. And it's clear that KKC knew right away what she was talking about, and that she was trying to play mental and mind games with him. Hey, Steph.
Exactly.
Well, how does she justify being so closely associated with people like Mona and KKC? She didn't have a problem with any of these people's parents or history or anything until they cut ties with her. So you got to wonder what type of criminals and degenerates she's kicking it around right now, because it seems like she don't have nothing positive to say about anybody she's ever been associated with.
Even the degenerates that she's around now, she don't have anything positive to say about them either. Like,
right.
Hey, Stephanie.
What's going on, Steph?
Hey,
what's going on?
So, I don't know. Hey, everybody. I don't know if this would be a good time to kind of. I have a theory. When do I not have a theory? But I've kind of been watching them for a long time, and I think I have an idea as to what's going on here, at least partly. And I don't know if I could, elaborate a little bit on that. About, as far as like, I think there is a method here as to why they continue to put Rev G, or continue to put Palmer out here to catch, to basically, have him in a position where he can claim he's a victim. I think there is reasons for that. I think, like, beyond all the personality, I think he has a a great amount. I think he gets a great deal of gratification from feeling like he's being victimized. I think it kind of gives him some, dopamine. He gets a dopamine hit every time he thinks somebody's talking bad about him. But
Right.
I think there has been some strategy behind this. And I think this is why that he continues to bring these things up and exaggerates them. And like I was saying in your chat, I think like when we went over his TikTok, like if anybody was saying this about me, I would want them to stop saying it. And once they stop saying it, I would not continue to say that they said it. Right?
Exactly.
Like you would want that story to die. You would not want to keep bringing it up and associating your name with these alleged accusations over and over and over and over again.
Months. Since then. Ever since this first broke the scene, right? This dude been talking about this since then. He has literally been talking about this. None of us.
You think it's because of the state he's in?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in Missouri, right?
Missouri.
Yeah.
And Missouri has the broadest criminal harassment law in the country.
Yes.
Other states are catching up, but their statute has been challenged so many times because it is. I think it's a dangerous statute, and if I can read just how like broad this is, it's not going to take very long. This is the first degree. Okay, this would harassment in the first degree, which is a felony charge in Missouri. A person commits the offense of harassment in the first degree if he or she, without good cause, engages in any act with the purpose to cause emotional distress to another person, and such act does cause such person to suffer emotional distress. Mm-hmm. Any act allegedly without good cause that's done with the purpose to cause emotional distress to another person. Now, where the lawyers get involved and start picking this apart is what if they had a good cause and if the purpose was to cause emotional distress, right? But even the courts in Missouri have held that the main purpose does not have to be to cause emotional distress. But if it's like, if the state can prove it was a secondary or tertiary purpose, then the person could still be guilty of harassment. I mean, this law is really like encompasses a lot of First Amendment protected speech, as far as I could tell. But so he gets out here, and this has happened, like, as far as I can tell, this has happened like 3 times, and twice of it was in regard to Shakim Ra. They when they asked for the Archibald case to be dismissed, they said that he was Shakim Ra. The reason they cited was that Shakim Ra was harassing Rev G. And so Rev G didn't want to continue with this litigation, even though allegedly he wasn't a party to it, right? And then he has the whole they're allegedly they made all these reports, these agencies when the whole student scandal went down, right? And so they made all these reports based on this law, and here again we sit where things are not happening, but he's claiming they are. And I think
we lost you, Seth. Can you hear me?
Damn, it was getting good too.
Man, yeah,
It was.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. My phone went to sleep. So here again we sit where he's saying that he's quote unquote being called these names, right? And he would probably be correct that we wouldn't have necessarily good cause to call him that exactly, because we don't have any proof of those kind of things specifically, right?
Right, exactly.
Again, we aren't even saying that. We haven't even accused him of that, but he's rallying to say that we have. And I think it's because he wants to gear up to file another report. As I think in Remix's chat, like two days ago, a day ago, he said he's got something for us.
I saw. I was actually going to show his community wall because he actually did say something specific to that. But before I do, KKC, did you have anything else to say about this? this anti thing?
Really, not really. I'm sitting here eating y'all, but
No, you're
not
fine.
really.
Me
Just,
too.
but I just
I'm
want
gonna go
to. I
over
want
to his page
everyone.
real quick.
I just want everyone to know that when you start telling the truth about her, like I gave those links to where you can look at her criminal history that's here on YouTube and things like that. This is what she does in retaliation. So
Yeah,
I got dots once again.
that's
But
crazy.
all right, thanks for having me up. I'm finna jump back down
Okay,
into
no
the chat.
problem. Thank you for coming up, KKC. Definitely appreciated you coming to explain that whole thing that she had on there, because most of us would have had no idea what this was, you know. And it just
Right.
goes to show how sick this woman is. It really goes to show that. But shout out to you for sharing that and letting me share that with the sector.
All right, no problem.
Thank you. Okay. I want to go down to this part here because there's a couple of things that he has on here. He says, "Don't make people not liking you your problem unless their dislike becomes actionable and problematic." Okay. He also says, when explaining why he posted the stolen Social Security Administration stuff of others on his channel, grown man legend said he did it to antagonize his victims. Just dumb. But thank you. No, dummy. What you missed in that, Rev G, is that what grown man actually said is he received information from anti, right? He received information from you, okay? And that is where he started, you know, because these were people that he already had a problem with. And so he decided to, you know, start fucking up these people that he had a problem with already. But y'all were the ones, Rev G and Anti, that was sending him that information. That's what he said, okay? So, dummy, thank you. Now, the other thing that you said was defamation occurs when someone is making a false statement that damages your reputation. False accusations of criminal activity are generally considered to be defamation per se, which means they are defamatory by their very nature. I have never in my life seen a group of chronological adults that fantasize about child abuse, Eddie Long and Jerry Sandusky, more than those Umar Johnson sector. Those are sick and dangerous accusations thrown around to harm others. As I have said in the beginning, call the authorities or make a report, which I think I'm going to actually I think I'm going to put this link in the chat, because just in case anybody really does want to make a report at CyberTip, because he actually kind of gave us some position on what we might be able to do in regards to all this.
Well, okay? I mean, it would be really helpful to his cause if anybody had accused him of child abuse, but since that hasn't happened, like, and it's just like, it's wild that, see, their game would work better if we behave like them, because they have personally accused me of doing drugs. Right? Exactly. They put out defamatory videos about me claiming I abused my students. Like, but none of us have behaved that way. Whenever we're discussing them, we're always measured and honest. So if we made the type of hysterical claims that these people make, they might have a case, but we don't.
Exactly.
There was a video I made about how it was for a project about lawyers telling their coming out stories, and it was for a gay lawyers organization. And I told my story about how I got outed in high school by a girl that I'd had a relationship with, and she told the whole. It was a boarding school. There was only 40 of us, but she told all of the whole school essentially that I had assaulted her because she wasn't gay, right? And so this was her whole thing. To like basically protect herself from what had happened, she said that I had forced her to do things. And so I told that story, and like nobody believed it. It didn't go anywhere. Everybody was like, "Letitia, you were like totally in love with this girl. Like you loved her. Like we don't believe this." And so it didn't go anywhere. But like I told that story, and it was a video. She's got that video up on her channel. And at one point, on her community wall. She reposted it and said, "I believe her. I believe that girl because she's the type that would do something like that, meaning me."
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was freaking nuts.
And
Yeah,
so
we're gonna get deep
anybody-
into that. We're gonna talk about that, but I think that I agree, Carrie. I see your message there. I agree. I don't know if you want me to say it out loud, but I do agree with that.
So I just brought that up to say if anybody's accusing anybody of sex assault, they haven't accused me, but they've said that I was, likely that I had done something like that. And we haven't even gone that far to say that about him.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I mean, let me just say for the record, nothing could be further from the truth. Part of the reason you're my gay crush, Stephanie, is because you're such a goody two shoes. You're so adorable.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm taking y'all off the screen and shit. My bad. I'm playing around with the screen. Let me finish reading this though. So he says, for survivors, please contact the number below if all of this madness is bringing these up. I am keeping a record of all who are defaming my character. This record will include legal names and employers and etc. Every false report done on me will be tracked as well. Let me tell this fool something. Rev G, the reason why we are doing and we did that TikTok series the way that we did as a part of this series is because it is actual factual evidence of you. That is your TikTok page. That's not anybody else's page. You've admitted to that being your TikTok page. And it is very strange, the behavior that you're doing on that page, okay? It's just the bottom line. Anybody with a clear conscience, a clear mind, clearly understands that there's something very, very wrong with what you're doing on that page. Following those children that you don't know, being involved with, these kids and just doing the most is absolutely inappropriate. And that's just the bottom line. Nobody's defaming you. Nobody is lying on you. And there's nothing false about what we're talking about. We literally showed your evidence from your TikTok page of your behavior. If you have a problem with anything that we've said, it might be time to look in the mirror, sir, okay? And actually do something about it, right? Go get the help that you very much need, right? Go get back on your medication, allegedly, right? And do something about your situation. It is not our job to make you feel good, to make you feel, to pat you on the back and rub you on your shoulders and tell you it's all going to be okay. That's not our job, okay? We are allowed to tell you the truth about yourself. And that's just the bottom line. So, again, that whole thing that you're talking about the Umar sector and how we are the ones that are, we're all, just so fantasizing about all these things and stuff. This is gaslighting at its finest, sir. The bottom line is the truth about you is just there, okay? Anybody can see it. I am never going to take that video down, okay? And anybody can see it. And that's just that. And you got to live with your choices and the things that you've decided to do, online with these kids, and that this is forever a stain, on your name. And, it just is what it is, sir. Again, I am not going to sit here and call you a pedo, but I am definitely going to tell you that this is absolutely inappropriate behavior. And I probably will be reporting to that cybertip.org. And sir, I do not care about you keeping a record of my name because, see, guys, again, this is another fear tactic that the AFWs try to use when you are trying to, actually report criminal activity or report inappropriate behavior or unethical behavior of them. They try to use stuff like this. I'm keeping a record of all who are defaming my character. This record will include legal names and employers and etc. Right? Somebody who's afraid of their identity being put out, afraid of their family members' information being put out, are going to be less likely to want to file a report against him because they're afraid that this man is going to dox them. That is it. So this is evidence, again, and I think we need to put this on the docket as evidence that the AFWs use fear tactics to keep people from actually reporting really inappropriate behavior of theirs. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. I think saying his behavior is inappropriate is a federal crime, and I look forward to the day you're brought to justice.
Hey, Teresa, I appreciate you being in the building. Yeah, the nerve, right? The nerve. What do you think, Steph? Hey, KK.
Yeah, and I think it's really cutting into any claim that he might have that that we have everything documented as to what we've said, what we haven't said. And the fact that he's exaggerating it, he is losing his credibility with any agency or any jury or anybody that would be reviewing this for any reason. I mean, exactly. You're repeating things that haven't even been said about you, and you are literally associating your name with the very things you say you don't want people to say. Make it make sense.
You're bringing this up, sir.
Yeah.
All this stuff he said, I have never in my life seen a group of chronological adults that fantasize about child abuse, Eddie Long and Jerry Sandusky, more than those in the Umar Johnson sector. All while you feel that all these people in the Umar Johnson sector are these criminals, where these horrible people that fantasize about this kind of stuff. But you're always here watching everything we're talking about. You're literally watching, keeping records. Like you said, I am keeping a record of all who are quote unquote defaming my character. Not sure how we can defame you with actual facts, right? This record will include legal names and employers, kind of the same behavior that they've been doing for years, right? Like you're literally, solidifying the evidence that we have already presented. I mean, that's how y'all seeing it? I mean, am I missing something here or?
Well, I just want to say, never in my life have I seen a chronological 50-year-old hippie man following little white girls all around TikTok. So exactly. I guess we all be seeing things that we ain't used to being seen around here. And as far as us being so obsessed with Eddie Long and Jerry Sandusky, these were internet memes. Millions of adults were laughing about that. Right. Millions of adults are not doing what you're doing, sir. So it's whatever. You're going to have to work harder at victimizing yourself.
Exactly. Well, listen, guys, I actually want to get out of here. I don't think I have. Oh, no. I do got these ones I want to share.
When you're done, I just have one other thing to say about Missouri.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm listening.
It's also, if he wants to play stupid games, he can win a stupid prize, because I think, there's a whole lot of things he's done to people that cause or could cause emotional distress, and he did not have good cause to do it, because just beefing with somebody on the internet is not a good cause under Missouri law to do things to them solely to cause them emotional distress. You could respond to what they're saying, you could counter with your own arguments, but just making videos mocking them, making little songs about them mocking them, I think that might be causing emotional distress without good cause. And see, the thing about laws are, they don't just protect you if you live in that state and other people don't. They also protect us from you because you live in that state.
Yeah.
And so
we can use that law against him.
Absolutely.
Right. So which is what I was getting to, right? I'm glad you mentioned that.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm glad you mentioned that, because this law, and Steph, do you have, are you able to post that in the chat? Are you able to post a link or anything to that information? If you can't, it's fine. We'll do it later.
In the big chat or in the back chat?
You can put it in the big chat, because I'd like people to know.
Okay, cool.
That, these things that he is doing, these threats that he's putting out, this constant harassment of the people of our sector, constantly defaming our names, defaming our character, the times that he's constantly called me a prostitute and all these other things that he's done, right? These lies that they telling. Yeah, these things, we can actually use that same law against him, okay? So if anybody actually wants to file reports or anything, then this would be the way to go about it. And you can use this Missouri law to do so because he does live in Kansas City, Missouri.
I definitely think that a professional counselor telling a survivor of childhood sexual abuse that she enjoyed being abused because she didn't have the right feelings about her abuser is pretty defamatory and emotionally distressing, even for the strongest person. So, if you want to play, let's play.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so this right here is one of 3 comments that I'm going to pull up that that Anti was doing. Okay, now again, Anti will run around and tell these people that Carrie Ann did all these horrifying things to her that had her, had her in this frenzy constantly every single day posting, which she's now taken most of those down. All right, but we have them. We definitely got them, baby. Okay. She has taken most of these down now, but she's made all kinds of comments in regards to Carrie, and just talking about her, defaming her, calling her suspended and all these other things and all this stuff, following her literally all over the place. Okay. Yet Anti claims that she's some victim of Carrie Ann. Okay. Let's get into this one. She says, Vita V is supposedly in the medical field. Binary Code is a special ed teacher with a pending complaint for race attacking and the hate speech against AAS and the black race. Like she really cares, even though she didn't give a shit that Stargate was calling us all niggers, right? And she was 100 in that in Stargate, right? It was 100. Remember that, guys? Yeah, okay. And then she says, Glorion Murray is a peace officer clueless about what's coming down the pike, which again, we showed evidence that she literally falsified those documents on Glorion. And that's been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. So there's nothing coming down no pipeline for her, okay? And then she says, Carrie Ann, with all her vile and offensive comments about black men and black people, she was in line for a new family. Thankfully, one has been found. These folks have never have the nerve to talk accountability. Perhaps it's the sewer dwelling life code of conduct. You think? All while she's pissed off with Carrie. So I just wanted to post that and just kind of show you guys, evidence that Anti has been constantly for over 2 years been coming for Carrie Ann unprovoked. You can now, if I know Carrie, I was going to say you can look up and down her timeline, but you can't, okay, because she do be taking her videos down. But I'm pretty sure that the sector can vouch for the fact that Carrie doesn't really talk about Anti, okay? She doesn't really talk about her like that, unless Anti is talking about her, right? And even then, she's still
usually not in,
still like, yeah, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anti just doesn't move Carrie like that, right? And because of that, because Anti couldn't make Carrie react to her, Anti couldn't make Carrie, fight back and make Carrie, argue and do this. She felt like she needed to go to the strongest thing that she could, which was put in fake and false reports to Carrie Ann's job, which we know by now, looking over all the evidence that we've had, that, this is obviously something that she does, right? Steph, Carrie, did you have anything to say about this?
I don't even know what she's talking about, looking for a new family and that I found one. When did I get a new family?
I have no idea either. It's just the point of it's just the point of look how much she's following you around and watching your every move on YouTube. But she claims that you're this horrible, vile individual who does all these demonic things. But why is she following you everywhere you go? And then making up stories about it.
And then this shit doesn't even make any sense.
She got new people that like her. Like, how do you know this unless you're following her around?
Like, is she trying to suggest that I made vile comments about Black people, so now I'm kicking it with white people, or I done went to some other Black people? Like, what the fuck is she talking about?
No, I don't think so. I think what she's trying to say is that you came from a bad childhood and you found like the family you were looking for with the rest of us demons. Is what I think she's trying to say.
But aren't these a bunch of Black people? Right. If I left my family because I say bad things about Black people, why would I come to the blackest space on it? Like, what? I can see if I was out here kicking it with white supremacists like her.
Right.
Yeah, what is she talking about?
Actually, you know what I think she might be trying to say? What I think she might be trying to say is that, you know, because she's down with all that like stratification, like, you know, how Star says like we're the good ones, y'all are the bad ones. She's down with all that. So what she might be trying to say, because see, I'm the AAS whisperer. I could decide for all her bullshit.
Okay, go.
So what I think she might be trying to say is that you had a good family. They rejected you because you're not good, and now you've gone and found a bunch of demons.
Oh, thank you, Steph. Okay. You might be right, because I pay her so little attention. 9 times out of 10 people be telling me something she said. I'd be like, what? What does that mean? What is she talking about? So
I'd be having to ask Stephanie what the hell she's talking about, because Stephanie is definitely the AAS whisperer.
Yeah, she definitely is. You know, she be working with all them defendants. Yeah.
I have to watch her videos sometimes when I really think she's trying to say something that I really need, like, she's telling on herself, but she don't mean to, but I'm really trying to like figure out like what really happened with something, you know, because you read between the lines, you can really like get a lot of information from her. But like to decipher what she's trying to say, it's like I have to watch that. I have to run it back like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, because it's so jumbled and weird, and she like in her own videos she'll like cut things and loop things, and it's just yeah. She is
funny because let me just say too, you know, I'm a leftist. So like occasionally I talk about race or gender. Like almost never does this shit come up in my like discourse or whatever. But if it's some beef that needs to be sliced, I'm gonna slice it, right? I don't shy away. But these people who want to, just like LV goofy ass, they get mad at me and want to paint me out as anti-Black or anti-male, but they never have any quotes or anything. They keep playing the tape, which again, I never took back. I meant everything I said in that tape, but they keep playing this one tape from like 3 years ago. And it's like, if I'm so anti-Black and I'm so anti-male, where are the quotes? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and I will take full responsibility. This is out of my archive. And if you see, like, there's a lot of videos where I've got like timestamps, and I've had the closed captioning on, and I've got like I'm capturing like what she's saying. Mm-hmm. And if you see like where the closed caption is, it says and Carrie Ann with her sewer dwelling. So yeah, I mean, she's really on it about like just how awful and subhuman we are, which is just wild to think that someone who is, well, you know, I wouldn't say I can be terribly surprised, because you know there are mental health professionals, unfortunately, you know, a very few of them, you know, there's some bad apples out there that are total sadists. Yeah. And, you know, they're using their training to try to, you know, get in people's heads. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And but, you know, I've never seen somebody who has been trained to care for, or to, you know, help people, you know, work out their issues and give them skills and things so they could deal with, you know, their whatever's going on in their lives, their trauma, etc. Who talks like this? This is insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, unlike her, like she gets in such a tizzy when I speak my mind. She's so irrelevant to me. Like, does she think I give a fuck about her saying I'm sewer dwelling when I actually have a nice house and she lives in a shitty condo in the hood? Like, I don't give a shit where you think I dwell, ma'am. I don't give a fuck. But
she literally lives in the projects.
What is you talking about?
Projects. It's not the projects, but it's.
But no,
I don't lives in a shitty neighborhood for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything she could point to that Stephanie's ever done or said that would suggest that she would take advantage or do something with somebody against their consent. On the other hand, I can point to her actually constantly dehumanizing people, and when she gets angry, labeling them as demons and lice and other offensive terms that does actually have me a basis to say, like, I bet she is hell in court. Like, I would hate to be a man or a woman and this crazy bitch is assigned to help me and my family, and she made up her mind 2 weeks ago that I'm a demon. Mm-hmm. And all I want to do is see my motherfucking kids. You know what I'm saying? All I want to do is get my family back together. But this crazy woman has decided that because I disagree with her or questioned her, that I'm no longer a human. Mm-hmm. And so I have a reason to say that about Anti. I don't think that Anti can point to anything to justify her disgust. I mean, what type of family therapist would be out here saying she seems like the type of person who would rape somebody? I mean, like, dude, what are we doing?
Right. Okay.
And then based upon what? Based upon what?
Right. That's the thing with me. It's like she never has any basis for the stuff that she says, right? She just says stuff. They all are like that. They all just say things, you know.
Right. I haven't seen Stephanie lash out at people for rejecting her. I've seen Anti-Afro do that.
Terribly. Every single time.
If it's anybody who comes across like a rapist, Buzzy said, fuck that bitch. Talking about his Stephanie.
And Buzzy. Until I found out, and I think we have good reason to believe that she's no longer working in the courts. I was actively worried, you know, because I'm an officer of the court myself. I'm not admitted in California, but I'm not sure that really lessens my duty in any way, you know. And I was having to really like evaluate, like, if there was anything I could do, what I could do, should I do something, because then we found out, like, you know, she's not even doing that job anymore, which is great. She has no business doing that job. But, you know, I worried the same thing. It's like, I don't know what decisions she would make about people if they weren't complying with everything she was telling them, if she felt like, you know, they were just literally demons. She's got a video where she says, like, she literally believes that some people are the spawn of Satan. Now, if that's being honest or she's just trying to goad us, I don't know. But, you know, if she does actually believe that, she was like my court-ordered, you know, marriage and family therapist while I was in termination proceedings over my child, and I lost my child based on her recommendations. And then I found out this was her.
Yeah.
I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do.
Worth looking into.
Well, just think about the power trip she gets on internet strangers who live 2,000 miles away. You don't think she's power tripping on these poor, vulnerable families who the courts were assigning to her to be under her purview? I mean, this bitch literally be trying to control me. I don't know her. There's just no authority over me, right?
Let's take a look at this one, guys. It says, Carrie Ann deleting her channel or anyone else's disposition towards Carrie Ann has no impact on current or future plans to address Carrie Ann's, quote, illegal, actionable behavior that was recklessly displayed on YouTube, right? Which, again, to this day, and I know that there's a couple of people who love to ride that coattail, right? But again, I still have not seen anything that you've done on YouTube that is so reckless and so horrifying that your job needed to be called. I don't.
Well, I'm surprised that Rev G hasn't made a post about this, because I know how he feels about people being falsely accused of things. What crime have I committed?
What crimes have you committed, right? And then she has on here, I feel bad for her as Afro's been on her neck for the longest time, then remix and her and Ra fell out. And then she says, get the fuck out of here. She says, get the fuck out of here. Carrie Ann suspended, right? Here goes your defamation, Carrie. Carrie Ann suspended / fired teacher, which neither one of those are true.
Right.
Is obsessive when it comes to falsely accusing Black men of S crimes and crimes against children. Not all of us disregard the confirmed deadly and potential deadly outcomes arising from false accusations. Carrie Ann's
You should put a picture of Emmett Till.
She put a picture of Emmett Till up here, like as if she cares about the Black community, right? Remember the Stargate video?
Well, he was never accused of a sex
clearly
crime.
calling us niggers, and she was up there. I pointed to where Anti was saying 100, 100, 100, right? She was so wonderful with Stargate calling us niggers, but yet she's all of a sudden concerned about the Black community when it comes to Carrie Ann, right? Who is an alleged suspended and fired teacher, which
neither of which is true,
because none of that's true, right? And that you are obsessive when it comes to falsely accusing Black men of S crimes. What she was talking about, guys, was the Rev G TikTok video, okay? That's what she was talking about. And mind you, Carrie Ann never called this man a pedophile. She never said anything along those lines. But because Anti is constantly, coming for Carrie Ann and constantly gunning at Carrie Ann, she decided to put this up, which she has now taken down. Okay.
And I want to say that I think that, and this is speculation, but it's based on her own, like you ask yourself, why does she have such fervor against me? Like what, like somebody said, she's been after me for years. Like what is her deal? And I really believe that she thinks that because I've talked about my mental health and getting therapy, that she's offended by the fact that she couldn't like make me cower from her. And she said as much. She's had whole rages on her channel about me not performing fear for her the way that she wants to see it from me. And she's brought my mental health up like many times. And it's wild that she's supposed to be an advocate, but she really believes that me saying I had mental health challenges means that I'm weak.
Exactly. That's
or that I should be easily broken.
Mental health challenges. She thinks that they're weak and, that she can get under their skin, get in their head, she thinks that she can make them do things, imagine what she does with her patients.
Well, she said many times, and so has Rev G, that they expect me to be afraid of them. And I'm not one, I'm from the ghetto for real, and I'm not one to just come out like, I ain't afraid of you, bitch. I'm not going, I don't talk like that, right? I'm going to just do what I'm going to do.
Right.
I don't threaten people the way that they do. I just do what I'm going to do. And I remember when this all first started, she was saying stuff like, we're going to take it easy on Carrie because she's fragile and she's weak. She's troubled. She's challenged. We're not going to really go after her. She still went after me. But as I kept kind of ignoring her and doing whatever I wanted to do, as I'm going to continue to do, she ramped up more and more to the point where they actually did a whole smear campaign on me in the media. And, she started off saying that she wouldn't come after me because she perceived me as weak. But as time went on, all those gloves came off and she's really punching at me the hardest when, unlike some of these people like Beautiful Bernice, I was never her little flunky. Like we don't have any personal relationship for her to be mad at me about. Right. So I just feel like she comes after me just because she expected, like she has no reason to be this emotional over me. None. But she is super duper offended by like my confidence and my lack of performative fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She seems like really angry that she can't control you when she can have control over somebody, or at least her perception of control, whereas usually it's just the person is doing things because they just have a problem with that person or whatever. But when her perception of control, when she loses that grip, she just goes, rogue. She goes crazy.
Yeah, like you could almost see her anger. Like, let me see her transcript is another one, for example, right? Because they had, she felt betrayed by her. The way this woman is coming after me, you would think that we had some type of personal. I don't know this woman from Eve. I don't know shit about this crazy lady.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and play something real quick because I want y'all to be reminded of how Anti really feels about the Black community.
nigger bitches is full of fucking shit, and you niggers that was trying to come in the fucking sector and trying to just diminish my greatness. Fuck all of y'all. Now, shout out to the high class blacks that are not niggers. We got some high class blacks and some others that's in the sector that do not, I would never call them that because they don't act like that. We got people in here that love both sides. So my thing is that when y'all come in here acting like niggers and niggas and niggerettes, I'm gonna call y'all out on it. At the planetarium, I would not no longer do that at Binary Show because it does not feel uncomfortable. I don't mind.
I just wanted y'all to be reminded that Anti loves when people call people the N-word and carries on like that. Okay, so she just likes to try to use whatever she wants to use to make it whatever she wants that to be. Is that you, Bernice? Hey, sis.
Hi. I just wanted to say hello to all you guys again. Hey, Steph. Carrie Ann, I don't know what your problem is with me, but you need to slow down, okay, sis? Okay.
Okay. Hold on. This is not an appropriate conversation for this show.
No, I didn't like that remark that she said towards
I understand.
Me. I did not like it, and that's all I want to say. And I'm going to get off, and I'm going to respect your live. But Carrie Ann, slow down. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Just slow down. Goodbye.
Okay, we're not doing that, guys. Thank y'all. So I just wanted y'all to be reminded of, and I get it. You guys, y'all are welcome to have whatever thoughts and feelings y'all want to, but this is not the focus right now. Okay, so we're not doing that. Okay. But thank you, and thank you, Bernice, too. I appreciate that. So, but yeah, I just wanted y'all to be reminded of how this chick ain't got no problem dragging the black community, okay? She has no problem whatsoever talking her trash about, black people, okay? And dragging black people through bullshit, putting black people, in harm's way, right? Calling black people's jobs for no reason, lying on black people for no reason, and so forth and so on, okay? She has no issues with any of that, okay? And then, she wants to turn around and play these gaslighting games with Carrie Ann, all while defaming her character, okay? So where Rev G at? Where, the lawyer for Rev G at? While, we see this chick up here literally lying on Carrie because Carrie has not been fired and Carrie never got suspended, okay? Now, did y'all have any thoughts on that or any comments on that? Because I'm going to change this one.
No, again, I just want all these people that want to keep claiming that I'm so anti this and that. I just would like to see some receipts. And again, they done played that 3-year-old video to death, right? Again, I stand by everything I said in that video. But if I'm so anti-black male and I'm allegedly accusing all these black men of crimes, can a bitch get a receipt?
Yeah, we definitely need some receipts from these people. First of all, I'm kind of sick of them anyway, just always acting like they, just always opening their mouth and talking trash and saying this and saying that and saying this and saying that. But y'all never show any evidence of any of this stuff. And when y'all do claim you got evidence, your evidence is spliced and diced together. Like it's put together and you grab something from here and you grab a word from there and then you put it all together and be like, see, this is what they did. Like, this is just nuts. These people are crazy. Any final thoughts on this, Steph? Because I know that these are your receipts. So thank you for your receipts, Steph. I truly appreciate that.
You're welcome. There's a ton more where that comes from.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
I'm probably going to dedicate a show to it because I'm probably going to dedicate another show to it. I know I said I want to be finished with this. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I really do. I'm debating on whether I'm going to continue. I know I'm going to do the 2 interviews tomorrow, right? For the other interviewee that I was going to do Saturday of next week, I think we're going to back out of that. And it's not because of you as a person or any of that stuff. I think we've had enough. I'll be honest. I think this is enough. I think we can end this with tomorrow's interviews, right? Now, there's 2 more things I want to do. I want to show the rest of Carrie, or at least some of Carrie's, the things that was going on with Carrie, and also the Aurelio Rodriguez case, okay, over there in California. That is a very damning case against anti-Afro Svengali, and I definitely want to show that. I want to talk about the Svengali thing a little bit, and then I also want to do the D. Durrell story. I think those ones would be enough, and I think that's it, guys. I don't think we need to continue on. You know, I really don't. So I'm looking at tentative Wednesday to do that, and I think we'll be finished. I think we'll be done. Okay, I don't know what you guys think, but did you have any other thoughts about this one?
No,
anybody? No?
Go ahead, Carrie. I'm looking for something.
I mean, the thought of this crazy old bird calling me or anybody else obsessive is hilarious, right? That's hilarious. Number one. And I just want to say, I'm gonna go live after this, just in case Ugly Bernice want to come over there and talk whatever she got a problem with.
Carrie,
Carrie, please don't.
Come on.
Well, I'm saying I'm gonna go live after. I thought that was good.
Okay, but you, come on, girl.
Okay.
I really like Bernice. I do. I love you too, and I love her. I really do.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm gonna go live on my channel if she got something you want to say.
Okay. Let me do one more. Oh, you know what? I think that was that it? I think that was it, guys. I think that was it. Oh no, this is the.
I thought you had something else. Yeah.
This is the final one. Yeah, this is the final one. Okay. Let me pull this one up. Let me present my screen. All right. Okay. Okay, Steph, you remember this one? Folks, I have never, if I ever was to pester or chase anyone around seeking something, it would never be a woman. Get the fuck out of here. We never needed your support. For my entire career, I've worked with a vast array of professionals and have family, friends who, let me read this again. For my entire career, I've worked with a vast array of professionals and have family, friends who've always been resourceful and provided any assistance needed. This means support, guidance, directions, referrals, etc. I then personally or with a lawyer take steps to do whatever is needed to assert and protect my rights. Why am I saying this? It's bizarre for the Social Security bandit to declare I, Breaking the Culture, Rev G, or anyone I rock with were ever upset for not getting the Social Security bandit support to hold Carrie Ann Wilson, suspended, fired, Tucker High School teacher, accountable. Breaking the Culture has had an attorney on retainer for several years.
Yeah, right.
So, a attorney. You talking about that attorney's office that was the HIV clinic? Oh, okay, that guy, that girl, okay. Breaking the Culture. Additionally, Breaking the Culture has professional connections. Those them Jewish guys that she's sucking their dicks in the dungeon. Is that the professional connection?
People that be pissing on her. Yeah, okay.
The people that be pissing and shitting in her mouth. Okay, them guys. Has professional connections across the globe. Rev G has the same support, access to professionals among colleagues, friends, family, and friends as I do. Me and Rev G have each been advocates for the maligned for 25 plus years. We're experienced and successful when it comes to dealing face to face with high stress and high risk situations. As far as what's gone down with Carrie Ann, she helped by self-disclosing her full name, profession, and state of legal residence. Additionally, Carrie Ann perpetrated her atrocities long before the Social Security bandit re-engaged the Umar Johnson sector. Likewise, Carrie Ann was suspended, fired without any assistance requested, needed, or expected from the SSA bandit. As a side note, the SSA bandit was never pestered about anything. When the SSA bandit was asked about wanting to remain on the email list, The SSA bandit said yes. Most important, it's not about what emails the SSA bandit received from us. It's everything about the emails which the SSA bandit did not receive. Thankfully. Do you hear this, bitch? Do you hear this hoe? I want to break down. Go ahead.
I almost feel bad for her because it seemed like getting me fired would have been like her one real accomplishment. She keep hanging on this so much, but it's too bad it never happened. Nor was I suspended. Nor was I suspended. I was on administrative leave with pay. So I got months and months to be paid to stay at home. When again, I would have rather been teaching my Black students. And let me quit saying that the vast majority of my students are Black, but I got a couple of non-Black students. So let me not exclude them.
Yeah,
I'm just speaking in general.
But the area is a Black area anyway. What I'd like to
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The area is mixed. It's just most of the non-Black kids around here can afford to go to private school, and they do.
Right.
So it's a unique type of situation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up how she was like literally saying, which I think is so funny, right? And this is what they do. And shout out to KKC because he brought this up, as well as many others have brought this up as well. Number one, she actually verifies that her and Rev G, right, have these support access, with professionals, with support professionals, and that they've been and have this experience with maligned people for 25 plus years, but yet this is the kind of behavior that they do. So I'm glad that we were able to journalize this along with all of their behavior, right, within this series. Also, it was the point where she said how, you are the one that told us your name and where and the state you live in, right, and the profession. So did that give her all the reason to go out and find your information and then dox you and then harass you with that and then dox the school, harass the school, contact the news and all these other things?
Right.
Because you said that you're a teacher and that your name is, is that this is their justification.
And all these vagaries, like what atrocities? Insulting you, disagreeing with you, challenging your bullshit. Like what atrocity did I commit? Like, for the record, I just want to reiterate, I never did anything wrong. This woman's just insane. Like that's what's actually going on.
Exactly.
It bothers me a lot that she uses that word so much, that atrocity. Like, no, ma'am. No, nobody in this sector has done anything rivaling an atrocity.
Right.
Exactly.
It's so hyperbolic. Yeah.
Joseph Stalin did atrocities. That one German guy did atrocities. Pol Pot did atrocities.
Right.
Pinochet did atrocities. We have not done an atrocity, ma'am.
By talking about you, right? Or by disagreeing with you.
Well, you did say she was wrong, so that's pretty atrocious.
I should remix his background. That's an atrocity, right? I guess possessing crack is not an atrocity, though. Okay.
Right. And I will gladly surrender myself to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. If they want, I will not put up a fight. I will go willingly to be tried for my atrocities against humanity.
And the AFWs.
Yes.
Right.
This lady.
Meanwhile, she got an alleged retired pimp, a woman who calls people subhuman niggers, but not all Black people, just the Black people she don't like. That means it's not racist.
Disagree with me.
Right. People who've abandoned their children, scammers, people who lied on the church. I mean, people who follow little kids around TikTok. Like, who is actually committing the atrocities? Are you sure it's us? Are you sure it's me? What atrocity did I commit?
Exactly. And show us the evidence, Anti. This is one more thing. I'm going to actually end it after this.
Yeah.
I want her to show us the evidence of you being suspended. Where did she get this from? Show us proof that you had some kind of report, Anti, that came back to you somehow. Because what I also remember, which I plan on going over this one at a later date, probably Wednesday. We'll probably do this, and we're going to do the Darrell story, and then we'll be finished. Okay. But yeah, basically, where did you come up with this idea that Carrie had been fired or suspended from her job, right? Because what you then turned around once you learned that she wasn't she wasn't fired or suspended, you then turned around and said, oh, well, now I'm going to sue the state of Georgia, and I'm going after Georgia, and I'm going after the school board, and I'm going after all these people because, like, it's like, girl, nobody owes you an explanation about what they're doing. Like, are you crazy? I don't know why this woman thought that she was going to not only put these crazy, salacious lies in about you, right? But then turned around and thought that they were actually going to turn around and give her an honest answer about any of this. Like, they were going to really take her seriously
with her, right?
You know, to actually even want to engage with this bitch about this stuff. And what made her think she even was, you know, that she had the right to this information? She literally went on a campaign about that. We are going to show all of that stuff come Wednesday. Any final thoughts?
What do you need evidence? I already used the word illegal, actionable, atrocity.
Right.
You heard the words I said.
Right. Any final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I did want to say that yeah, I think in the sector we put a lot of emphasis on who used to be aligned, you know, or affiliated, or who used to have, you know, open communications with the AFW, and how, you know, that is sort of diminishes like their ability to, you know, have to complain now. And I just, you know, I call her the Antichrist for a reason, because, you know, if you are, you know, if you believe in the Bible, right? If you think that what's described there is going to happen, and what it says about the Antichrist, it's a very, very deceptive person, right? And they come and you don't know until it may be too late who they really are, but they're so deceptive that they can really trick you into thinking that they are this person that they're not, you know, and they can put up a very, very good show. And, you know, it was for the benefit of all of us that now they have their stories to tell, because it's given us a lot of information about them. And so, you know, I think it's, you know, we can, you know, if I'm going to go get tried at the International Court of Criminal Court, then, you know, I think we could also have a Truth and Reconciliation committee, you know, and just, you know, build the, you know, forgive each other for where we were aligned at one point, right? Because now it's like we've all seen who she really is, and that's what's really important. So
that's the important part for me too.
Yeah. And then I also was going to say something. Oh yeah, that was in one video that kind of made me remember why I watch her and like dissect everything she's saying, because that video where she was complaining about how the school wouldn't give her a straight answer, she flipped and said something to the effect of, I'm going to make sure the school has sent the complaint up to the Georgia Board of Education. I said, that's weird. That sounds like an appeal to me. If the school had to take something that they've received and send it to the Georgia board, that sounds like an appellate process for these complaints. So I, you know, looked up the education code, and indeed, like she's in the last stages of appeal, if that's even true, which means she's lost at least twice on the complaint.
Right.
At least twice.
Exactly.
I wonder if that's why it took so long, because I was on leave for so long. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I started thinking that they would just let me out until the next school year, and then at the last minute they had me go in. But yeah, I wonder if her appealing is why she's like, but I said atrocity.
Absolutely.
But these are crimes.
Yep. And I bet that's why the school won't can't give her an answer now. I think they probably literally can't, because they're not involved anymore.
Exactly.
You know, and I don't even know where it stands. I don't have any inside information about where it may or may not stand at this point. But I do know, like, when she slipped up and said that the school had to send all the, like, basically package everything up that they had already done and send it on to the Georgia board, like, that, I was like, that sounds unusual. So she's lost at least twice before they had to do that. So now the school's not even involved. So that's probably why, like, they can't even give her an answer because they don't have one.
And
so
now she's trying to. Now she's also claiming that she wants to sue the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
Literally.
And I mean, what makes her think that we believe that she has those type of funds that it would take to take up a fight like that?
I would love to see that happen. Like,
I know, but like, with what, you gonna represent yourself against the state of Georgia, bitch?
What lawyer would even take on this case, right?
Right. Rev G had to come out here shaking a can, trying to get chump change to buy himself a truck. Lying, saying it was
you
a
might
loss.
be able to get Catherine Brown's lawyer to take it on. I don't know.
Right, but you gonna sue the state of Georgia. And mind you, the state of Georgia don't give a fuck.
Obviously, they don't care. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm like, I'm looking at this chick like, it's clear that they don't give a shit, man. That's
the state of Georgia be like, you can't teach Black history no more. And she think that they about to give a fuck about her little YouTube complaint. The state of Georgia is like, action is only, bitch.
Hey, Drama. What's going on, Drama? Appreciate you being in the building. Girl, hell yeah. That shit is nuts.
Yeah. Wild. Yeah, she is such a self-styled legal expert. And there's a lot of people who front on YouTube about how much they know about the law, you know, sort of cottage YouTube lawyers. And, you know, they got their law degree at the University of YouTube, and they've been admitted to the bar of YouTube. And of all the YouTube lawyers I've ever encountered, she is the one that is like ridiculously wrong, to the point where I've literally had to put my phone down and just walk away. It's like, you got to be trolling at this point, because you can't be more wrong. You just can't be more wrong. Like, there's no way you can even get more wrong than what you are right now. You know, and there's been several instances of that where I've just been like, wow, lady, wow, I don't even know where you came up with that. That's amazing that you could be that wrong. And
it is like the way that how wrong she be sometimes.
She be believing that shit too. Yeah, she be dead ass. Like, you call me a pervert? That's a crime.
Oh, you said I'm ugly? I'm calling the police.
Yeah, I'm a protected class. Ugly people protected. Oh, yeah. You told a story about a joint from 20 years ago. The DEA will be there in the morning, bitch.
All right, ladies, listen, I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all coming up and running with me today, and KKC for hitting the panel, as well as Bernice for hitting the panel as well. And everybody that hit the chat, I truly appreciate all of you for coming in. Deidre, thank you for coming in today. Definitely appreciate you, sis. And yeah, spread the word. You know, make sure that you are sharing this out to the other sectors. We do appreciate y'all. Propane, I appreciate you being in the building as well. I don't know if I was able to say hi to you. But shout out to everybody for coming in and supporting the pre. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out, guys. And with all hearts and minds clear, we are going to end here. I appreciate y'all coming in, and I will see y'all tomorrow for the interviews.